Konnichiwa, minasan. Zeta's chair of MagickDream Creations. And I'm here with Mr. Manager Orgy.
Hey, guys.
And we got another Nocturnal Nerds podcast for you. We're talking anime.
Woo woo.
So, let's get this party started here. This is episode 5. Can you believe it? We're already on episode 5.
I know. I can't believe it. It's gone so fast.
So, our first anime that we're going to go over is Ouran High School Host Club. Orgy's making a sound of disdain because I made him, forced him, broke his arm and everything to watch this anime. It is one of my personal favorites. It's a story about a girl that dresses like she doesn't really go into disguise. She just doesn't care if people see her as a guy or a girl. But in the beginning of it, you know, her hair's short because some kid put gum in her hair. She ends up in this music room trying to find somewhere to study and ends up finding a host club ran by a, you know, it's the whole catchphrase of the whole story is they are at Ouran High School Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this room that's, you know, it goes to the elite children and, you know, girls that have too much time on their hands, and these guys with also too much time on their hands entertain these women.
Yeah.
And it's just, and all these kids are like in privileged families, they're very rich, whereas Haruhi, there we go. Yeah. Haruhi, where she is not so much. She's actually, she got in on a scholarship and for good grades and stuff. And
considered the lower class.
Yeah, she was considered low class, you know. She's a commoner, that's what they called her. She got called a commoner. And so they got introduced to commoner's coffee, and that became the staple drink of the host club, was you had to drink commoner's coffee, and which is instant coffee, basically.
Yep.
So I found it hilarious. I adore it because there's just so much comedy into it. There's so much like romance and actually life lessons to be learned in that thing, in that whole anime. And it's shorter than the manga, I believe. I didn't get to read a whole lot of the manga for it. There is a manga of it, so.
I have no desire, thank you. I watched the anime. I have to apologize again, guys. I'm having sinus issues once again with all the rain that we've got here locally. It is messing with me.
I'm also got like my voice and stuff are kind of itchy and dry here because I've caught con crud from Koyakon last week. So
yeah,
hooray for being sick!
Now we've got the bugs. Go figure.
Yeah. Mine's a slight one though.
But back to what we were talking about. It does have a mix. It just didn't appeal to me a whole lot.
You're not really big in the cutesy animes anyway.
Well, yeah, we've covered that.
You like the more dark and mysterious and the gory.
But it has to have a good storyline. And this one does. You just gotta bear with it.
They even did an Alice in Wonderland episode.
Yeah. I think so far my favorite episode, and I could be combining animes here, but the Halloween. Yeah,
where they did the where they were in the school at night and they were scaring each other.
Yes. Yeah. I think that one. Oh yeah. That one caught my attention really good.
Whoever lost got to be crowned the king of cowards.
Yes.
Yeah, and as my phone goes off of hello. Let me turn this off here. But yeah, so you know, I like Ouran High School Host Club. I dig the hell out of it. It's actually in one of my top animes, and eventually I'll get to do more top 10s things later on. I've been putting that on the back burner with all the conventions and stuff, having to catch up. Needless to say, I'm exhausted from it, but and that's actually it. Ouran High School Host Club, and most of these animes that we've picked out are going to be in my list of I need to draw something from them.
Right.
Because I've been like, oh, I should draw this and that and this and that. And yeah. When you have so many things that you like, it's hard to draw them all.
Oh, I understand. I really do.
And he tried to experience the whole stay up late at night, and where he got like 3 more hours of sleep than I did over the course of 3 days.
Yeah.
He slept 15 hours course of 3 days. I slept only 6 hours in the course of 3 days trying to catch up everything for KoyaCon, so
Yeah.
that did not help at all. Screwed up
No.
my sleep schedule and everything.
It screwed up the sleep schedule, the immune system. Yeah, it messed with me pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. So, as with all the animes that we pick out, we have a favorite,
Yes.
and we have ones that we like, and I'll take this one first. And there's a reason, because the next part of this, we have a little conflict going on in the bottom there.
Yeah, we do.
But, so I'll go first in the ones that I liked. I had two from the series, and it was Kaoru Hitachin and Koya Otori. Kyoya, not Koya. Kyoya. See, Koya's on my mind. Kyoya. My apologies on that one. He's just laughing at me. He usually is the one that messes up the names, and here I am going, bleh.
I know, right?
But
Usually I butcher it.
now I liked Kaoru, who's one of the Hitachin twins.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked him because he's the one that reins in Hikaru. He's the one that's got the cool, collected head. And he notices when Hikaru is starting to like Haruhi.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, eventually, we have to let people in. Because they start off with not having anyone in their worlds. Like, they don't let people into their world.
No, they don't.
Because they're very close. They're twins. Yeah. They even play the game of which one's Hikaru game.
Yeah.
You know?
Very reclusive, essentially.
Yeah. Whereas, they don't see anyone else that could be their friends or be able to break their barrier. And Haruhi ends up breaking that barrier.
Right.
And pushing more into them. And ends up with...
As paying attention here and there, I noticed that the other host clubs have a lot more. And the one that they're in doesn't have a whole lot.
No.
They're very selective.
Yes. And I mean, it was all started off because Tamaki had this weird idea to start this host club and wanted to get all these, he had a specific set number in mind to make his family. Right. And the twins were in it, Kyoya, Honey Senpai, Mori Senpai, and, he specifically sought out these people within the school to have them come to the host club and start it with him. But I love Kaoru. He seems to be the more level-headed, and I don't know, the whole twincest forbidden thing was kind of like, oh my god. When I first watched it, I was blushing all over. I was like, oh my god, this is good. This exists? What? It was just fan service for me.
It does touch on the underlying tones of incest or twincest.
Twincest, yeah.
It kinda...
And that's really popular, believe it or not, because I've drawn a furry twincest of my two, of Ayuki and Tasuke. Right. And that hit, oh my god, huge. And I was like, pervs? That's all I could think was pervs. And of course, I'm the perv that drew it, but it was just odd to see that that's actually a thing that people enjoy looking at.
I know that whenever you drew it for your two furries, that's the first I had really seen it. Mm-hmm. And the more I did, I can't say research because that wasn't for this, but I started looking on the internet more. I started seeing that a lot of different cultures like seeing the twincest or the sibling incest. And
blows your mind a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
I thought it was really funny because the first time I did that artwork, they were purple. Their spots and everything were purple. Right. So they seemed to just be a blob of black and purple. And it just, I'll eventually redo that one, I'm sure. But, and for my second was Kyoya, the Shadow Prince and everything. And and what I really liked whenever I pointed this out to you was he's voiced by the same voice actor that does Sebastian from Black Butler.
When you pointed that out, it kind of spun a different revelation into me of looking at that character. Because the voice, I love Sebastian. And then I was like, no, don't ruin Sebastian.
I have an evil laugh on that
So
one.
I
Made me
had
giggle.
to put Sebastian
The far
it's a
back of
different-
your mind.
it's a different anime, and
But I don't know. Kyoya kind of had a Sebastian-esque feel because he was very, like, you didn't want to wake him up early in the morning.
No.
Because he had a glare from hell that would kill you.
yes,
And, you know, he was easily irritable. And that episode where they were in the mall and, you know, they did the Cell Expo, whatever it was. You got to see the other side of Kyoya that's outside of the host club. And he basically got spirited away by Tamaki and the group.
yeah, he did.
Against his will. He didn't have his wallet, didn't have his phone, didn't have nothing with him. You know, and so he spends the day with Haruhi, and he's got a good side to him, but he's also very calculative. He does the accounting
Right.
for everything, and he's kind of narcissistic in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when, you know, the episode where Honey gets a cavity and they have to get rid of all the sweets. He's all happy because sweets are expensive.
Yeah.
To be able to
Afford them, yeah.
afford Honey's habit, because he's addicted to anything sweet. You know, the money goes into that.
Yeah.
And he's the one that comes up with, you know, he sells
Budgets.
does the sales for like the calendars and the magazines and everything, and they're actually making money that way.
Yeah.
Because the host club isn't really funded, it's more of donations.
Right.
But I really liked Kyoya, but who was your favorite?
My favorite was Hikaru.
Yeah, Hikaru Hitachin, the other twin.
The other twin. I connected with him because he was more...
brash.
Yeah.
He was more brash with that one. He was like almost polar opposite of his twin Kaoru.
Right. He was... I can't... More quiet, reserved, until you got to know him, and then...
He spoke his mind.
Yeah. And now whenever they were doing the host club, when they had members come in, he was the first one to go up and meet and introduce himself and be more open. But most of the time, he was more reserved.
Yeah.
And I connected with him better.
And
than
I
anybody
really
else.
liked the fact that, you know, they had played a game where they were trying to figure out how to heal what she was afraid of. And Tamaki ends up finding out that she's afraid of lightning, thunderstorms. And then, you know, Hikaru goes on a date because Kaoru can't make it,
Right.
you know, that kind of thing. And there ends up being a thunderstorm. And he ends up leaving Haruhi by herself.
Yeah.
And he doesn't pick up on the subtle hints like most men do.
Right.
I'm just saying this because I know I've given you subtle hints and you're going, don't do that.
Don't do subtle. Just be blunt.
Just be blunt and honest. And he's like, well, how can anyone know that? And, you know, goes to find her and everything. And so he does care. He just has a hard time showing his feelings.
Right.
Just like any teenage boy usually does. And that's what I really like about this anime is because they have these character depths. And it's a slice of life, and you can relate to these characters. Everyone's been a teenager at some point in their life, or you know, teenagers themselves. It gets better. It eventually will. It's just you got to go through the changes,
the
of
roller coaster
of
rides.
emotions and all that fun. Just I know I was not a very helpful teenager at all.
I was very mean.
Yeah, I was very dramatic. I put on a facade that I was very happy, peppy, hyper, when in all reality I was hiding things.
I was angry a lot.
Yeah, of course we know that anger very much so.
I was very angry, very withdrawn, seclusive.
I hid myself into worlds. Like I have disassociation disorder. I don't want to be in reality. It's very hard, you know, it makes me go out of my boundaries going to these conventions and everything. Right. And actually doing this podcast, guys, it's one of those, I get so jittery. It takes me about half an hour to get ready for a show.
She's not lying.
Because it's very hard for me to talk with people unless I have a similar interest. You know, that's how I make friends is and be able to go out of my shell. Because if not, I want to stay at home and do nothing and just hide in my video games.
Believe it or not, I'm kind of opposite of what I used to be as a teenager, where I wanted to sit in my room and be alone. Now I want...
You want to be out there.
want to be around people. I have a hard time being socially...
Adept.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. I hide that very well because of acting.
Yeah. See, you took acting. I was
did.
all art. I had all 4 years of my high school years was artwork, so I was constantly drawing things.
And I have to thank my professors for getting me out of that shell, because I was very socially awkward when I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
And then with acting and taking acting classes and doing productions, it got me out of that.
And you got a whole suave air to you.
Now I can fake my way through it pretty well without people going,
"Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I have a harder time doing that. I have to put on masks, and I know that's a social thing for everybody. Right. Is you have to put on a mask to get through the day.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell my attitude and everything when I'm drawing, because the emotions come out into my artwork. So you can tell when I'm having a sad day because I'm drawing something depressing, or when I want to, maim somebody because somebody's getting maimed in my picture.
See, and that's why I can't write music off of what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really odd, because that's mainly what music is. But if I go off of my feelings, I'll have really fast music, I'll have really slow music, I'll have something that sounds like a funeral march. No, I can't do that. It has to be, not that I have to be in a certain mood, but my muse lets me know at what time to write.
Yeah. About the only time with music that you can know that I'm happy is I'm listening to Slipknot, and that really bugs people, I have been told. Because it's usually the angry, raw music from Slipknot, and they're like, "Is she angry or something?" And you're like, no, you just don't know. She loves Slipknot.
She's actually in a good mood.
Yeah, that's my good mood music is Slipknot, and it's weird, I know. Very odd. Or Rob Zombie. Heck
and
yeah.
I can't listen to music and write my own music. It's just weird.
Well, no, because then you'll end up getting it.
I'll start writing what I'm hearing.
Yeah. That's understandable. I can't sit there and watch anime while I'm drawing another anime, because then I'll end up pulling something from the one I'm watching into what I'm drawing. It's very hard to...
That's why I can't write constantly.
Right.
I have my moments where I have a window, and I have to get it all out.
Oh, yeah.
If I don't, it's gone. But
back to this one, we're going to do who we hate.
I'll go, since you went first, I'll go.
You're going to go on who you hated?
Who I hated was Tamaki.
You didn't like the prince.
No, I did not. No.
Poor Tamaki-senpai. Why didn't you like Tamaki?
He was a prince.
You just don't like the princely character, do you?
Most royalty people have a tendency to be arrogant, egotistical.
Yeah.
I don't do well with, pardon the expression, but pissing contests. And those are the kind of people that I have the pissing contest with. And I don't like those kind of people.
No
offense to fans or anything like that. I have a tendency to not mesh well with those kind of people.
Right.
And so his character I really didn't relate to. And no.
See, I thought he was adorable.
I wanted to hear his voice off screen but not see his face.
Oh, and see, his voice actor is Vic Mignogna, who does Edward Elric, and so he's a well-known voice actor.
I love hearing his voice. It's great. But
and if we can ever get into Sayuki when he shows up, he's
pull him off the screen. Let the voice actor, let that character never be seen, and I'd have been all right.
Yeah, when we get more into Sayuki, Vic is Kogaji later on in the series, and you'll get to see him play he's more of a neutral character, but he ends up he's like a bad guy for a little bit. Yeah, so we gotta wait for that one, and you'll hear it. I'm pretty sure you'll hear it, but we got to get past the beginning of the series.
Right. Who did you not like?
I did not like Renge Hoshakuji. Renge, the annoying little prissy girl who ends up debuting into the episode by swearing she's gonna go marry Kilya because he looks exactly like a character off of a video game that she likes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's so naive and doesn't understand to not butt into people's business and to leave people alone. Just leave them alone.
See, and usually I don't like those characters, but that character didn't bother me in this one.
Oh, she bothered the ever-living hell out of me. Anytime I heard the motor going and they go, power motor, and then all of a sudden, that stupid laugh, I'm just like, it's Renge and I want to shoot her right now.
See, and that's when I started paying attention more. I would hear the laugh and go, what?
Yeah, because I know it catches you. And then and I really like, though, is that she makes you think, because she's constantly cosplaying.
Right.
Somebody.
Right.
Like, she cosplays someone from across. I mean, all these these things, and I'm like, wow. Okay. That's anime inception right there.
And I have to admit, I caught myself daydreaming while watching this anime. And she would pull me out.
Oh, okay, I got you. So you were half paying attention. Oh,
yeah.
Rude.
I would be half paying attention, and I hear the and that would pull me right. We're like, what? Oh, okay. I'm still droning through this anime.
At least I didn't make you watch Glitter Force. Be prepared for that one.
I know.
I will only make you watch the first 3 episodes, because that one took a while for me to sit there and binge watch while I was sick, and that one made me go, what am I subjecting myself to? It's a good anime, but it's a little too cutesy for me. But
that means I'm gonna hate it.
Yeah, you're probably gonna hate it, and that's okay. I'm not gonna force you to watch that one all the way through. But now we've got Ouran High School Host Club. I suggest you guys watch it if you have not seen it. It's on Netflix, the whole 1 season of it.
Even though I don't like them, this one, drudge through it. Mm-hmm. Get past a little bit. It has a good story. It's not that bad as I'm making it out to be. It didn't appeal to me a whole lot, but I'm pretty sure everybody will like it.
Oh, yeah. And definitely, you guys,
give it a chance.
Form your own opinions of it, and if you want, comment on the episode that we have animes on, and let us know what you thought of the animes that we're covering.
Oh, please. Go on the opposite fence of me.
He likes to debate.
It's not that I like to argue, but I like to see other points of view. Mm-hmm. And we're getting suggestions and everything, which is awesome, guys. Oh, yeah.
Keep giving us
We've
suggestions.
got a lot of suggestions, especially from our friend Miguel.
Yeah.
He gave us a lot since we just got done with Koyakon.
I know you need to watch the Slayers so you can get on with that one.
Well, I have watched a good amount of it. I haven't watched all of it, but I watched a good amount of it. Yeah. It's been a grip.
Because that's one we're definitely going to cover, because I'm a big Slayers fan. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. I know y'all both are.
And we're going to go to our next one. And this one is, wow, this one's an old one, but it's really good. It's Outlaw Star.
And again, I have to say thanks to Miguel. We went and had a 3-way conversation, and it seemed like everybody was lost with us when we had that conversation at Koyakon.
Yeah.
This anime did come out about the same time as Cowboy Bebop. And it got overlooked, and the popularity went to Cowboy Bebop.
It's because they were so similar in the the space,
right?
The ships. They had a grappler ship, and you had the space pirates, and it was the big boom of the space.
And I gotta say, having that conversation, it made me realize that that's why the popularity went a different direction towards Cowboy Bebop, and everybody seems to forget about Outlaw Star.
Yeah. It was and it was, for me, it was a Toonami lineup, so I got to watch it. I think it came after Tenchi Muyo or something on Toonami.
See, and I didn't watch any of the Toonamis because I wasn't actively watching TV at that time.
You didn't get to see it until I actually had the box set and we watched it, and you were like, oh, this is Outlaw Star.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because at that time, I'm pretty sure, I mean, I had my moments of watching Cowboy Bebop, like, religiously. Too many things going on in my life at that time. I had a plate full of things I was doing.
Yeah.
I had, my LARPing going on, Cowboy Bebop, and I also was still finishing up in college. So I didn't watch a whole lot of TV at all. And to be honest, I still really don't.
Yeah. We kind of just have the TV on as background noise, usually. Unless there's a show that's actually absolutely captivating.
And I've noticed if something is on TV that I don't really relate to or it doesn't captivate me, I have ADD. And I will find other things to occupy my mind.
Pokemon has been on his play.
I'm sorry for anybody out there, for whatever age group or anything. I've never played Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I'm taking the time and playing it.
Which one are you playing?
Sapphire.
Sapphire, yeah. Tried to get you to play. You tried to play Silver. And then switching between the game consoles, because we have a Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and an original Game Boy that all three of them work, guys.
Yes.
I took care of my stuff.
She did.
And he's playing it on the Game Boy Advance, and he tried to play Heart Silver, and it got corrupted, so it won't ever save again. But he's playing Sapphire on that
I'm actually giving it a shot and trying to play it all the way through. And so if she's on the computer doing something, something comes on TV that I don't like, or I'm halfway paying attention, I'll be playing Pokemon.
Yeah, we're usually like watching CSI, Forensic Files,
and just some insight. I thought about taking the Game Boy to the Koyakon.
Just so you can keep playing?
Just so I can keep playing. But I was like, no, I'm going to set it down.
Gotta take a break.
Gotta take a break.
So back to Outlaw Star. Okay. We're giving like insight to you guys about us, and it's funny that we're doing this. But Outlaw Star, you got the cowboy go to space, and the space races, the grappler ships, the fighting the space pirates, and it's a really good old school anime.
It was different at the beginning for me. It was hard to get into, just because of my genetic makeup. But once I got into it, I was hooked.
Yeah.
And
you really liked Hot Eyes Hilda when I pointed out that she was Major.
Yeah.
Major from Ghost in the Shell. I was like, that voice actor, and then she's the Crusader in Diablo, and I was like, that one, because I'm really good on voice acting. I'm like, it's a game. It's my game. Name that voice actor.
And it did. I'll get more into that, but I didn't like the younger version of Gene.
Jim Hawking?
Yeah.
Oh, no, when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That whole part kind of
threw you off a little bit?
Not threw me off, but
it gave more into the backstory
more
of what
ADD.
It tells what happened to him as a kid and why he has issues going into space and all that.
Yeah, it does. It does. I wish I would have paid attention more to that.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
I got lost in...
Because he loses his dad.
I know.
And that's what really, it gives him PTSD and everything.
But then later on, I should have paid more closer attention.
Because then you figure out the McDougal brothers were there on the day that his dad died.
Mm-hmm.
Because the ship was there. He saw the ship.
There again, like Ouran Host Club, I kind of...
You had ADD.
Yeah. Daydreaming moments.
Yeah, this one is one of my picks too. So this episode is both of my picks because I said no, we're doing this. And yeah, we picked them out of the hat, and we just so happened to pick these ones.
If you would like, I can go and do the likes first.
Yeah, you do your likes, and then I'll do my like, and then we'll go into the hates, and you'll
Right.
start off the hates because it transitions. But, so, who was the one that you like?
I actually picked 2 from here.
Oh, interesting.
Which is, I know I had a past episode where I had 2.
Yeah.
On this one, I have 2. Twilight Suzuka.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I had to say that one slowly. And Jean Starwin.
Nice, very nice. So you like the assassin lady, and you like the main character.
I liked Suzuka because she was more, pretty much how I am, a tacticianist. And I could relate to her. Because she had to be, being an assassin, she had to be tactical of when to do it, how to do it. And nobody really knew that she was an assassin until they,
When she debuted and everything. I really like Suzuka. She's that cool, calm, collected.
Oh, yeah.
I really like her.
And Gene, like we had just covered, I didn't like the younger, but once he coming into the character, coming of age, I really related to him. He made a good captain.
Nice. Very nice. So I have 2 likes in this one too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I liked Jim Hawking.
Ah.
And I'm going to cover Jim Hawking before I go my like, because that one happens to be your dislike. But Jim Hawking, he's this cute kid who is smarter than hell and hates the fact that he's a kid. He's not of age, and so he constantly gets picked on by Jean.
Right.
And in turn, he picks on Jean too. And I just love the fact that he paints one of the little mechs for Gideon, which is the name of the ship,
Right.
pink. Painted it pink. I was like, oh my god, that's adorable. And he's brilliant. He's a genius kid. He's
Yeah.
like Ed from Cowboy Bebop.
He's a brainiac.
He's the boy version of Ed.
Yeah.
And I love it. And he's constantly telling Gene, dude, and he's the accountant basically. He budgets everything. He's like, we got to get these parts replaced. We have to do this. He fixes the engines
Right.
and everything on the on the Outlaw Star. And he's like, okay, you have only these. And I love the fact that they had the caster shells, and the caster gun. That there's a slight magic to it.
Right.
And our friends of Overall Nerds, Famous and Toby
There we go.
Rothgar, they covered Outlaw Star in their little special with Shotgun. And then I'm right there with them on the whole caster gun, the little small kinds of magic that they did in it. And
It gives
Jim
a different
Hawkins,
twist.
It does.
It really does.
It just gives more to the ambience of the storyline of, oh, cool, these things can happen. And what's really funny is when they aired it on Toonami, they couldn't air the Hot Spring episodes.
And I have to say, the reason why I just now made that revelation of why I was daydreaming, because back in I still do it, but tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons, I used to play Spelljammer. And so
it was the similarity to
I
Gene
would
Starwin.
drift off to playing Spelljammer and remembering moments, and then it's very similar to the casting of your ship. And I did love that aspect that they incorporated that into it.
But then that was, that's why I like Jim, and it was just, he was a cute kid, and I loved it. It made me sad, that episode with the cat girl, and he ended up falling in love with her, and never makes the connection that she was the pirate girl that was actually hunting them down. I was just like, oh, sad days. The other one that I like is Aisha Clan. She is my number one. She is Miguel's waifu. Like, right there. I loved Aisha because she's a cat girl thing. She turns into this badass tiger, and she's strong as hell. She's just constantly wants to brawl. She's pride in her.
You're picking out the good points that I like about her, and I'll get into the other points.
Yeah, because this is the one he doesn't like. But I loved her because she's my favorite character. I want to cosplay her someday, and it's. I just love the fact that she does have her hyperactive, ADD moments where she's like that, but she has her reality moments where she will give advice and she will be like, hey, it's okay. She really sticks around Jim a lot.
Right.
And, there was actually fans would pair those two together, and I'm like, okay, I can see that pairing working.
I could see that even just by watching that their relationship could go further.
Yeah.
Because, she was stuck to his hip.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't mind her being stuck to his hip. Where everybody else, he was okay with it, but then he would drift away and have do his own thing.
Yeah. So we're going to talk to why you don't like Aisha Clan.
Repetitive. She's always got to repeat her name constantly.
It's the pride. She's very proud to be a Kataro.
I know. And it just, I got so tired of hearing her name. And that she's a Qatar. Why do they gotta repeat? Clan, Qatar.
It's a cat thing.
Yeah. Plus she's very high up into her race.
Was.
Yeah. She's princess?
No, she was a commander of a battleship at one point,
right.
And then ends up getting her rank taken from her, and she ends up being left behind and having to chase after Jean, and they're looking for the galactic ley line, which is the whole premise of the whole series, is looking for that galactic ley line.
It just, the points that you pointed out, yes, I agree, but her hyperactivity and the fact that she's got to repeat her name and state it constantly, she was kind of like if I had to pick somebody, it would be her kind of dislike, because she really grinded on my nerves.
Yeah.
It wasn't the first one that came to mind, but I went, if I had to pick anybody, it would be her.
Who was the first one that came to your mind?
I don't think there was anybody else that came to mind. It was just
Aisha.
Alright, who do I not like? Oh, that one. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It wasn't peck it out here, or it wasn't an immediate. It was one of those I had to sit there and go, alright, which one? There she is. Yeah, no. I wasn't. I guess that goes more into the writing. I didn't like her so much.
Understandable.
I think they could have done something different with her, and probably wouldn't have annoyed me as much.
Yeah.
I did like the fact that she was that she could change. She could become really badass, and she loved to fight. She wanted to constantly fight. It was the fact of the over and over and over. Okay, we get it. Shut up.
I like that one. In the episode where they were doing the fighting, and Jean had to cross-dress, because that was hilarious.
That episode was great.
I think they called her Gina or something like that. It was freaking hilarious.
The cross-dressing, that cracked me up.
And, ended up being where Aisha goes in as Fire Cat because she really wanted, she hated the fact that Qatar were not allowed at all.
Yeah, to fight.
Because the one that did fight in the tournament ended up turning into their beast form and killed somebody.
Went too far.
Yeah. And then the pirate that was a Qatar. And then they both turn into their beast form and duke it out.
Yeah.
While the whole arena's burning. Episode was just epic. I loved it.
See, and then that's where I really liked her, but then it goes right back to where I don't like.
Yeah. And then we got to see the Hot Springs episodes, which didn't air on Toonami. And that was the first time I got to watch it too. And it explained where he got the caster shells from that were so expensive and so hard to get. because they, it covers who makes the caster shells and who.
Yeah, when you told me it didn't air, I was like, they could have at least cut part of it.
Yeah, where it shows the girls nude in the hot springs.
They could have
censored it somehow.
Edit that, or threw up some blocks or something.
I think it was because that episode was it was way over the top perverted that they couldn't really do anything. They just decided not to air the episode.
Because I know they would have to butcher the hell out of it.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been a 30-minute episode.
But the storyline
was pertinent to the rest of the storyline because you missed that gap.
When you cut that out, it doesn't really make sense of, well, where did they get that from? How did they get that? And the character interaction had moved further. So it was like, oh my God, you cut out a whole lot by cutting out just that one episode. The character development and interaction, I was shocked that they had cut it completely out.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, Toonami was airing whenever kids were coming off of school and everything, so they couldn't really show that one at that time.
Right.
It would have had to have been moved to Adult Swim, which when Toonami first aired, they didn't have Adult Swim.
No, they didn't.
They didn't bring that out until way later. Yeah. But the one I hated, we're gonna go to the one I hated, was Harry McDougal. He was the McDougal brother that had the teal hair. Was crazy about Melfina. He was a little over the top for me. I like some psychos, but he was way too psycho. He was like borderline gonna beat the ever living hell out of me, Melfina psycho, and I was like, no. And when you get in that level of, it messed with me. I'm gonna be perfectly honest, Harry messed with me, because then he ends up hacking in while she's in that suspension chamber, and like it goes into my mind and it brings back flashbacks of things that happened in my past, because I'm like, it's what it feels like.
I can see that.
You're vulnerable and you're being invaded by somebody that you don't want to be there, and it's like, so I don't like Harry at all. So every time that he got his well-served justice, I was
you were rooting it on.
I was rooting it on. I'm like, kill the bastard, kill him, because he messed with me on a mental level.
I got you.
And it was just because of personal experiences,
right?
And which I won't get into on here because that's a little dark, even for a podcast.
Right.
But it's just one of the experiences that I had in life that it was brought into an anime, and it messed with me so bad that I was like, I really don't like that character. He needs to die in a fire.
I could see that because, they go a little in depth
with him, and it's
yeah.
Scary stuff, guys. I mean, wow. But we definitely recommend you watch Outlaw Star.
Yes, because just like as she has, you can relate to a lot of what's going on, or the characters. I really liked Outlaw Star.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't think I was going to at the very beginning. I had gone into it expecting pretty much what it was going to be, and it turned out to be completely opposite.
Yeah, and I even gave you a disclaimer that whenever you watch it, do not do a comparison of this is going to be just like Cowboy Bebop. Yeah. Because you'll be disappointed.
Yeah, you will.
Because it is that same kind of concept, but it's something completely different.
Right. It's its own entity.
Yeah.
And, I really recommend it.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Guys, watch Ouran High School Host Club. Watch Outlaw Star. Some good animes on that one. Especially if you're into the spacey ships, mechs, things.
Space cowboy-ish.
Yeah. And if you like the cutesy slice of life stuff.
Yeah.
You get a nice little Alice in Wonderland episode too, which makes me giggle. Because the Hitachin twins as the Cheshire Cat was awesome. It makes it pull it off as being Cheshire Cat. So.
Yep.
But yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. Again, we're on episode number 5.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Keep giving us suggestions. Ask us questions, and we'll have an episode where we cover your guys' questions.
Yes.
So, feel free to ask us anything. If you want to get to know us, want to know, pick our brains, it's okay. We're all right with that. Woo-hoo.
We're fine.
But yeah, thanks again, guys. And
yes.
Tune in next Friday for another episode number 6. And I know we're doing specials in between that. I don't know. We've had 2 specials already, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah.
But yeah, until then, ja matane.
Laters, guys.